Welcome, welcome. Welcome to New Earth. How's everybody doing? Feeling good about your body, feeling good about who you are, feeling good about the earth and how we're all connected as one. Working through your stuff, work through it, don't put it off. Call it up every day, set time aside and start working through your stuff. Start loving all that you are, honoring all that you are, and creating anew. That's why we're here, to inspire and to empower and encourage you to know that you are the full embodiment of who you are, spirit. You are infinite and eternal in all ways. You can create anew now, create anew now, create anew now. And your embodiment with spirit in all ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, etherically, all the multidimensional ease at the end, you are one with spirit and soars. And so we're so happy that you've joined us today. We're going to do something really, really short. And we're going to do a beautiful alignment with the epicenter of who we are within. And then we're going to do a really short oracle spread. So just open up that beautiful pillar of light that aligns you with the heavens. And it's really important to align your pillar of light every day and just open it up. And it's a crystalline tube that runs along the spine. Opening your pillar of light and just visualize the white crystalline light, transparent light coming from the heavens and coming down and bathing all of your chakras. As it comes down into the chakras, intended it's realigning your chakras and your soul and your higher self and all the teams that work with you, your healing teams, your recalibration teams, any teams that you want to call in specifically, the healing teams of the mothers and the sisters. I'm so grateful. Melchizedek, Arcturians, they're really great healers. Lyrans are incredible healers, incredible healing teams from Lyra. You all have timelines in many planets and many forms and many bodies, and you can just call on them once a week and just have them practice with you, any teams that you're feeling guided to call on. The Hathors do really great sound and healing to clear out the densities and the calcium deposits that have been placed in the field, as well as over and around the bodies in the fields. And so as you're also understanding energy, everything is energy, everything is the pulsation of who you are, why it's really important to take a few minutes, a few times a day, just to realign and recalibrate your chakras. Just visualize the white crystalline light bathing your bodies, bathing your fields, calling recalibration to your physical field, your mental field, your emotional field, releasing any densities or projections or thought programs, anything, especially now our planet is going through such density and programs of control being thrown everywhere. You want to ensure that you're aligning from your highest guidance within. I am being led and guided by the divine and the holy creator from within. The holy creator knows your path, knows your soul's blueprint, knows on all timelines what you're here to create, harmonizing your soul. I harmonize the soul of all that I am and calling all those soul aspects to come up and join me. All the soul aspects from all timelines to come up and join me. All that I am, the light of my soul is profound. The light of who you are becoming is your soul's light. All the soul fragments, all the soul aspects that you get to learn from, and you get to harmonize yourself anew. You get to call in greater health and wellness from all of the soul aspects that you are beautifully connected with and harmonizing. Because anything that you're going through in this now moment, the lessons that you're going through right now, is as part of the soul fragments and aspects. We don't like to call them really fragments. And just harmonizing through the pillar of light. Those are also the timelines that they've lived with, the similar roles that they were not able to transcend. So this is why each of us are here as the presentation of the heavens, as the presentation of our entire lineage. And we get to come forward now and we get to transcend through our intelligence, our higher consciousness. Consciousness is everything. Consciousness would resolve everything on our planet. So the more in tune you are with who you are within, what you exist within the omnipresent. Remember the fields that you exist within, the omnipresent fields is all source creators, all God, and you can use those energies to start feeding back positive experience. And that includes also we say that as a multidimensional statement, and those of you that have watched us understand that. Because you can begin, they showed me a while ago in a healing video, those that understand it, and they use it in that way, we often create the beautiful vortices of healing. And so that's what we mean by that. And there's clearing going on in the chakras. So just hold yourself high, just full body breath, not small ones, but full body breath. Recenter with spirit. Hi, spirit. Thank you, spirit. Come and lift through me now. Come and live through me now, please, and today. Thank you, spirit. Please be my higher self and my soul harmonizing as one. Thank you, spirit. My breath calms and blesses me. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And I'm grounding into the Gaia energy. Thank you. I'm creating a full body breath to call in light, to call in harmony, to call in peace, to call in a beautiful centeredness. Thank you, Spirit. I reclaim all my consciousness, all my power, and all my light. I reclaim all that I am so that my energy is not scattered, my thoughts are not scattered. And those of you that are empaths, those of you that are high vibrational beings but have never been taught about energy, sometimes if you're not grounding properly, you can feel as if your thoughts are very scattered. So just reclaim all your consciousness. I reclaim all my consciousness. I reclaim all my consciousness. You're a high vibrational being, so you need to understand how to work and direct your energy now so it's not harming you and it's not creating scattered manifestations. You want to manifest from all of your power from a directed, focused, intentional space of your awakened consciousness, because you want to consciously create. You don't want to subconsciously or unconsciously create where your energy is everywhere and it's all over the place. You want to align. So all that you are is an epicenter. Call all of your light, all of your power, all of the scattered energy, return to me now. All energies that are not serving spirit. If there's any attachments, if there's any entities, if there's any projections, anything that is within the fields and the bodies that are not of the highest Christ consciousness, please be released now and return back to source now. Now, 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 now. All energies not serving spirit and source, return now, now, now. Out to spirit, out to spirit, out to spirit, out to spirit. Transmute now. Thank you. And visualize Archangel Michael just cutting any cords, any entity attachments that are no longer serving you, that you've learned the vibrational lessons for, and just offer it to spirit. I offer these experiences that are no longer serving me. I offer these experiences that are no longer serving me. I surrender any karma and any energies that are not serving me, that are not mine, that I have learned the lesson from. Now, please release now. For you are the commander of your epicenter. You are the commander of your consciousness. You are the commander of your bodies, and you shall not feel less than if you so choose. You don't have to feel as if you're heavy and weighted by energies that are not yours. It feels good. And just feel how light, like I'm feeling so light. Thank you, Spirit. I'm just releasing all those negative energies and entities. Yes, thank you. I feel so light. Because my breath and my intention is all. I love my breath. I love my body. I love my breath. I love my body. And my fields are cleared. My bodies are cleared. And I reclaim all of my consciousness to me. For I am clear about who I am. I get to create my own story. I rewrite who I am. I rebuild who I am. And I am the profound knowing of who I am. And everything that I've moved through are the vibrational stories that I get to choose to release. Because I choose to live from a vibrational space of love and peace and truth and unity. And just lock those intentions in, or whatever your intention is today. It might just be, today I intend to live as a healthy being of light. Today I intend to see spirit and hear spirit and sense spirit in all things. Today I'm grounded and I'm not going to feel scattered, and I will be at peace and in my center. When there's flustered or frustrating conversations, energies that want to pull you into those conflicts, you can choose to say no and just detach and disengage and go about your way to create something peaceful and loving and harmonious. Because I'm in charge of my body and my epicenter. I want my epicenter to make sure that it's clean and purified and not have any dense pockets of energies through which arguments or frustrations occur. As you take care of your body, any energies or entities as they're moving through the astral realm and as you're moving about life, they don't attach to you because you know that you're standing in the essence of who you are, is your pure intention of who you are, the pillar of light that you stand in. I walk with God, this is my vibration. I walk in pure light, this is my vibration. And therefore you're not emitting those energies that have those energies and attachments hook onto you. And then if you're also a healer or working in the public, then it's also good to do this a couple of times a day so that you're maintaining your core vibration. That pillar of light is really important to maintain. You're walking with spirit. You're walking with your intention of who you are. You're walking with your intention of your higher self and your soul. And call your higher self and your soul to help guide you and direct you into how to clear, how to maintain your clarity, your guidance system, your epicenter of light, and the truth of who you are, which is your own self-empowerment, your own self-love, and your own self-honor, to take care of all that you are as a spirit of light. And so we thank you, dear Spirit. We're coming into our beautiful heart space. Thank you. And especially we're going to be, get this deck over here too. We're going to be accelerating. So it's going to be really important to pay attention to clearing the fields and grounding. And that's just using that pillar of light to ground into Gaia, because we're also fed those healing energies from Gaia as we breathe up. healing energies from Gaia. And take those full body breaths. You only need 3 to 5 full body breaths to restate the endocrine system and just relax it, because it's overworked right now and it's so stressed out with as much, especially as more intuitive and empathic. The endocrine system is really over pressed, so take as much rest time as you can, and full body breaths really relax it, and just bring the stress systems, just bring those stress systems just back to a normal homeostasis. And you create a greater homeostasis the more that you practice intentional breath. It's so powerful. It's so easy. The only thing that we ever need in life is just to be simple. It's always about breath. Your purity of just to flow with who you are. The natural state of who you are, just being your authentic, your authentic excitement for you and how you move about the planet, how you move about being you. That's really all that's needed. And you'll manifest what you need to manifest. It'll all come to you. Spirit knows what you're needing, and just staying in that regular daily communion. What do you got for me today, Spirit? How can I align? How can I be peaceful? How can I maintain my peace when people are, stressed? Trying to pull you into those conversations we all know that occurs. And it's okay, but you don't have to feel obligated to entangle and engage it. It's really important that you just don't, right? Because it does affect your energy, and it affects your energy field, and it affects, the amount of energy you give out to those experiences that nobody really wants to be a part of. Be a part of the resolve, be a part of stepping out and creating, like our video stated yesterday, so have a look at that video. And so we're doing just an oracle spread. We're going to pull in some animals here too. Okay, Spirit, show us this beautiful experience of who we are in the highest sacred light. Oh, there's a card. Where did you come from? One card wanted to cut. So thank you. We're calling on the weekly message for our collective today, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. The weekly message for the collective, Spirit. Thank you. I'm going to go for a walk at the beach after this and do some journaling and do some glyphs. If anybody would like to order an activational glyph. And I also do channeled messages as well. And I also do channeled MP4s. And they're very short MP4s that are sent with the glyph. And they also have light language and sound. And then I also do channeled messages in writing. And then I send it off. I take a picture of it and then I send it off. I'm not sure if I have that price up on our website, but it will be the same price as the glyph. And it will be about any extra messages or light language that come with that. It will be a photocopy of the message in writing, because I'm a channel writer as well as any other type of channel. And then also light language attached to the MP4. Okay, what's the message today? Let's do 3 cards. Thank you, Spirit. This is a message for the collective. Message for the collective. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Gaia and the Holy Creators. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Oh, those are beautiful. And I said one more. Beautiful. Thank you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do an animal card for each. Actually, we'll do 3 animal cards. 4 is always a very special number about foundation. And the number of 4 will be really important for this coming year, for whatever year it is, 2022. Number 4 is going to be a very special year because we're going to be rebuilding our foundations of Gaia, the foundations of our human collective, upon the new sands and soils and the new grids that we've all been creating. That one wanted to come out in between those 2. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for this next set of cards, please, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you. Oh, I love that card. And how appropriate, too, hey? How appropriate. Okay, so the first one that we have, we'll do it in sets of 3. First ones that we have are the free from judgment. You're free from the judgments that you've held about yourself, free from the judgments that you've held within any of your Akash. And I love how these little dots are representing to all of the soul fragments and the soul aspects that are, and spirit as well, because it's all one, it's all the same, that she's understanding as the harmony of her. They're also vibrational imprints of the stories that she's been held in. And whether we think of anything as dark or negative or dense or shadowed, it's all in the light of the embodiment that she chooses to create for her own light to be represented on the planet. For we have to understand that all of the vibrational stories, the collective we come from, our family, our lineage, everything is absolutely one within the same of the light of it. So if you're going through a subjugational phase right now, which we all are, everybody on our planet is, and every day you're working through releasing any small and grand subjugations, any aspects of control or manipulation, any aspects of dysfunction or abuse, all of those experiences are subjugation. They're fear of the liberation and the sovereignty of each soul, because we've never been taught to go within and really create who we are. We've been created from the judgments from our society, our family, our dogma, our lineage. Everything is based on a judgment that is in the separation game. And so when you're clearing away those familial stories and those vibrational stories, you get to choose for yourself who you really are. And those judgments usually come from within, the judgments that you've taken on as a part of the collective to heal the collective. And so they were showing me a part of that this morning in my own healing, because I was asking, why did I choose to take on this extra wound? And they were showing me because I wanted to be a part of the rebuilding of Gaia, and I needed to have that overlay. It's an overlay when you take on those extra soul imprints to choose the pain and the wounding, and you sometimes call it up from your soul's Akash, from your other lineage, and the beautiful, I love you so much, I love you so much, ancestors. Call it from your ancestors and many of the timelines that you've had upon Earth, so that you can fully free your lineage, your ancestors, your Akash, your children, the collective of all the judgments that spiral around us at all times. And so, but you can choose to see them in one and of the same light, because you absolutely know that it was a part of your story. You absolutely know that it's a part of you, but you can transmute it to light now and see it as light and free yourself from the judgment, free yourself from the limitation, free yourself from the lower vibrational stories. We say lower, it's not qualitative or quantitative, but it doesn't make you feel as light and as vibrant and as high as anyone can feel in any one moment, because it's all a choice of free will. You know the vibrational stories, you know where the judgments have come from, and in essence, it doesn't really matter. In all moments that you see that there's a judgment of subjugation, less than or lower than, or not belonging, or whatever those judgments might be, you can choose to rise above, and that's what the ego does. The ego does see that anything that is in the now, inner, outer, is a part of just acknowledging it and accepting it as a part of your beautiful story, and then transmuting it to love. So love that aspect, love that story, love what that story taught you. See the accomplishment of that story. See the blessing of that story. See the value of that story and how it illuminates the earth. So rising above what we said earlier is, we all sometimes get caught in those stories of those that are around us in the collective and the myriad news things that are on them. We all get it. You know, you're bombarded from every direction. So rise above and see everything that's before you as in the world but not of it, and see it from a higher perspective of the story that it's vibrating. Everything that comes before you is a vibrational story. It's a potential for you to engage in or not. It's also a potential for you to see, is this in my vibrational field, body, or mind, or a belief that I have about myself that I can transmute it? Every time we take ownership to transmute what is before us and see it for the highest light, we illuminate the entire globe. And that's when we really get to dream the beautiful dream, because we get to understand the vibrational stories that sit before us, within us, and around us. Who are you? What do you exist within, and what exists within you? We are the beautiful, and so grateful. Thank you, Gaia. We're the beautiful song of Gaia. We're the beautiful story of Gaia. We get to dream this new beautiful dream. And we get to be as whimsical and as joyful as we so choose, and get to see everything from the highest perspective. We are each here to shine our highest and our best, to release every aspect of judgment, to release every aspect of condemnation or a separation, and just be the light and the joy that we're meant to be. Everyone has a unique path. Everyone has unique lessons. Everyone has unique pacing. Everyone has unique gifts and skills. And that makes every single sacred geometric point valued and evolutionary. If everyone had the same gift and skill, we would not be shining as the sacred geometry that we are. So that is why every soul's path, every soul's destiny, every soul's fate is in the allowance of the right use of will. And no one has the right to hinder, to bypass, to project, to thwart anybody else's path. because it is a very sacred geometry experience with source, only source. That's why you have guides. That's why you have teams. Your teams and your guides and your higher self ensure that you are meant to be on the path you're meant to be on, because it does play into the global plan. It does play into the sacred geometry. And nobody can play God within that. That's why the right use of free will is so, so, so important as we begin to move through 3 to 5D, because we absolutely see without fail, every one of us, where there have been judgments and withholdings. There have been deceit and corruptive programs. So now we get to choose from who we are. We see it from the higher perspective. We are sovereign beings. We do get to choose for ourself, body, mind, heart, spirit, and soul. And this is how we create that beautiful sacred geometry where every piece of the puzzle fits. It's meant to be unique. And it's a very beautiful and sacred experience. And we wanted to bring this in together again. It's so lovely how we're talking about that. Both of these cards, as they're running simultaneously together, you see, and the bee, how they're all involved in the sacred geometry of our planet, and how each person is a part of God's plan. Every person has their own unique sacred geometry, their own unique sacred song, their own unique sacred experience that the source is, creator is. We are each the inspiration of spirit, and we are each meant to be the sacred unique piece, puzzle, temperament, threading, texture, note, resonance, however you want to call it. We are meant to be sacred, unique, blessed in our own unique way. And everybody's unique soul path will unveil in divine timing, so that every point in the sacred geometry of that person, that soul, will be lit up and arranged and aligned. And all we have to do is align with who we are within. Where shall I go today, Spirit? How shall you arrange me today? How may I be this beautiful bee? And the beautiful bee is the pollinator of joy. It is the pollinator of life. It allows us all that we need to stay nourished and sacred and true, and our connection with Earth to be as one. And why they come with the most powerful experience on our earth in the most smallest of ways. There is no life that is small that is not meant to be. For if we had those attitudes of judgment, that even if the small lives were not important and we just ended up killing them off because we thought that, well, that's so small, it doesn't have significance. Yes, it does, and we know that. Our programs about all of the ecological damage that goes on with 5G and the bees, there's absolute evidence that we require our attention to know that all aspects of life are very monumental and profound for our existence. And it's so, so important that we start becoming aware of it and bringing in higher inspirations for how can we live in oneness with our planet and create new dreams. Because we are the sacred geometry. Every aspect of life is needed and required, so that every aspect of life is held within the song of spirit. And we get to be inspired that way. I've always loved nature, so it's always been it's always been a beautiful gift. And so we'll bring these two together. And so inspiring and understanding your conscious connections. And then there's the fox. And the fox has always been one to, the fox for me has always been shapeshifter energy. And that shapeshifter energy means that, again, we go back to what they were saying at the beginning, is free from judgment. Any energies that we see, and the fox in many of its symbolism, because it goes far beyond shapeshifter. But the shapeshifter is in any one moment, it comes to us as a lesson to stay within our truth of who we are. The shapeshifter of the fox moves in and out of environments without being known or seen or heard, because it just understands the essence of spirit. And it comes to remind us to stand within the energy of who we are in our truth, so that we are not held within loss of any illusion that is not of a highest truth. And that's what the shapeshifter energy does. Shapeshifters, along with anything that's going on our planet, you can choose to see it as negative, but can always be held as neutral, because it inspires you to a higher train of entrainment, because you needed that shapeshifter energy before you, so that you can become more stealth within who you are, standing within your pillar of light, knowing what and who you serve, knowing how you invest your energy and what you invested in. Then you're allowing that all of those conscious connections, regardless of the energy or regardless of how we choose to define it, so choose not to define it, focus in on the feeling and the energy that you feel and you sense. And that's what the fox does. It senses everything. That's why it can shapeshift. But it arises in our environment to say, where is there anything within my vibration that I'm calling awareness to, and how can I fall in love with it and become neutral with it, as opposed to a judgment, because that judgment will just call it in. And that's what we said earlier, releasing judgments. Just be free to love. That means yourself in and of yourself. Anything that you've done in any other timeline that we've talked about before, you're going to be seeing play out in the collective, and where our releasing of all judgment and forgiveness is so key to the benevolent moving forward in our experience. So the shapeshifter energy reminds us, and you see how very poignant and soft and gentle the fox is. It's such a beautiful creature. I used to see so many of them when I lived in the forest. They're the most beautiful, soft and gentle and graceful, elegant animals. And there was a beautiful red fox that just came to sit in my barbecue area one day. And it was just so incredibly amazing. And it just sat with just such grace and such elegance. And it was so gentle. And you could tell the wisdom that it was emanating. And, when I tried to just, open the door to take a picture of it, it had moved on, because they're very reclusive, individual sovereign beings, and they move in and out of their environment with great gentleness and quiet revere for the land. But they remind us, can we be this as well? Can we be gentle on the planet? Can we be gentle within ourselves? Can we move about in the solidarity of who we are while there's so much going on around us? Can we move in the solidarity and honoring of who we are, and know that all conscious connections teach us about who we are, all aspects of life teach us about who we are, and how can we remain steadfast in knowing and just moving gently within one another, respecting the life of one another, respecting the life soul paths of one another, and not looking upon one another as if we have to turn our face to it. No, it's all us. So face it with the elegance and the revere that we are all one. Face it with the revere that there will always be a shape-shifting energy to say, how can I harmonize with this as a neutral experience and not negative? Because they're all stories that we've created and manifested. So how can we see it from the highest perspective, which is neutrality on all things, so that you can see the highest divine relationship within the center of it. And if those of you want to understand neutrality and how it's so powerful and positive, because so many people mistake the awakening experience, and they feel such pressure and they feel such obligation that they must see and feel every moment as positive and loving and exciting. No, there's no person that can. There's very few people, unless you're a yogi and your joy is to meditate 24 hours a day and that's all you do, because you're practiced and you're trained in that, keeping that resonance. But most people move through the minutia of life. We navigate through all energies. And if you're becoming more and more sensitive and empathic, you're going to feel the energy of the collective that you're having to transmute. And plus all the programs that are going on right now that also project, quite harmful negative energies. But so you're just remaining stealth within who you are, and just understanding that all is neutral. And in any moment you feel triggered to then reflect and refine what's going on within you, trust how you feel. Always go back to how you feel. Just take a breath. How am I feeling about what just occurred, Spirit? Please show me my connection and entanglement with this, so that I may be the highest reflection and then transmute anything that needs to be transmuted, or release what needs to be released or transmuted. It's your ability to be in love with all things in all moments, and to see it out from a neutral space, to see it's for its valueness, it's valued, and it's belonging, its gentleness within the whole experience. The gentleness of the fox. They move in and out of forests and shrubs and bushes without even a sound. I mean, they're the most elegant experience of creature walking on the earth. I've seen many of them as they move about the earth, and they're so soft and gentle, and they're very elegant, and they're very just so profound in their experience. And so how can we move about in that way too, and just fall in love with it all? But first we must open the portal of neutrality. And the portal of neutrality is the mother and the father, the Vesica Pisces, and in that center, that's where the sacred child is, to open up in wonderment, to open up in pondering before that judgment or that experiential honoring is made. And then you get to fall in love with it. Well, what does this really mean? Because there's so much that's coming forward right now that we really have to discern within ourselves. Who are we? What does this story mean for me? What is this information being impaled to me? What does this mean for me? And then you get to choose from within. The strength of who you are is so important. And it can only be done when you're continually going back within to say, no, I got this. I don't need outer experiences. I don't need outer judgments. I don't need outer people telling me what to do. You get to make this choice for within you. Body, mind, heart, spirit, and soul. What do you say? Who are you as spirit? And spirit live through you. And then we get to be in the world and not of it, and just allow everyone their sacred grace and sacred reverence to move gently and quietly, and know that all things are really neutral. What doesn't make it neutral is the wounds that need healing. And then that becomes that reactivity. And that's when you know there's a wound there, when you're reacting. And those wounds have not been dealt with. And so just pay attention how you feel. Am I reacting? And then just breathe and let it out. This is what I'm feeling. I want to suss this out. I want to sort it out. I'm going to go through this. And just know that you'll get through it. You'll get through it. You can do it. Sort it out. Put it on the table. And then you get to say within, this is what I'm willing to work through. This is where I'm at right now. This is what I feel right now. And then you get to, it's a rewrite. Every day you're rewriting. Every day you're becoming new. Every day you're becoming greater aware of your conscious connections, and you're releasing judgments, and you're allowing everything to be a blessed piece of experience for you in light. And you can choose. You get to choose how your story goes. You're not meant to follow anybody else's plan or path. Everything is up for potentiation, and you get to choose how you want to potentiate it with source. That is why the right use of free will is so important, because we have a planet to rebuild. We have a planet to rewrite. We have a planet to bring new dreams, and not one person has the right to say, this is how it's going to go. This is how it's going to go. No, every person must go within and do their own inner work, because when they do, they absolutely know they are in alignment with source, and they're going to bring their own unique light to it. Every person has a unique path of awakening with spirit, everyone. And when you go within, you get to say, wow, I get to turn that to a beautiful piece of neutrality, and I'm going to bring my own light through it, because that really meant something to me. I learned so much in that one experience. You get to turn even the most uncomfortable experiences into something that's really powerful and profound, and share it. So share your story. We love you. All of you so much. We love you so much. And so get outside and be loving and soft and revering with Earth. She's always sending us messages. She's always sending us kindness and goodness within her heart, for her to always be steadfast and loving with us. And send love and light to the children. Ask the children always. Ask the children always how they're feeling. Return their energy and their power and their mastery back to themselves. What do they think? What do they feel? What do they have to say about everything? And really listen to them, because we're all cosmic butterflies. We're all awakening into who we are in the belonging of being reborn through the divine feminine. The divine feminine is the giver of all life, the birthing of all life. And so we are being reborn as cosmic beings of light, universal beings of light. And we thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Our donation links are below. We love you so much for donating and contributing to us and our free offerings every day, because we love you and we honor you so much and we value you so much. Know that you can get through it. Just sort it out and suss it out. Pay attention to how you feel. Realign with your pillar of light. Center within divine affirmations and what you're going through in all moments, and really connect with your intimate plan with spirit, your intimate ascension plan, what you're moving through, and what beliefs and what patterns, these really steeped mental patterns of egocentric living for thousands of years. We're all having to suss those out, and we're all having to say, put them on the table and sort them out one by one and deconstruct it. Then you get to choose, no, this is what I'm going to go for. And it doesn't have to have a role. It doesn't have to have a definition. And I can be free and liberated within it all. Because 5D is all about sovereignty, the liberation of the spirit and the soul. And every person is unique. We are all unique points on that sacred geometry, and it must be. Thank you, dear lighted ones. We love you. Our links are below for anybody that would like a private session, any type of vibrational healing that we offer. Our classes every Thursday night, private glyphs, private intuitive readings. We've got so many offerings. It's all there. And our Ascension books that are on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Bye.